My husband moved our $10 million fortune to an offshore account and kicked me out for his pregnant mistress. He thought I was just a housewife he could discard. He forgot one thing. I owned the company he worked for. I waited until his wedding day to drop the ultimate bomb. The Chicago rain was freezing, but it didn't compare to the icy glare Hudson gave me as he tossed my designer suitcases onto the curb of our $5 million Lincoln Park mansion. "Sign it, Alana. Don't make this harder than it needs to be," Hudson growled, shoving the divorce papers toward me. "Look at yourself. You're washed up. You're just an ornament that's lost its shine. Amber is pregnant with a son, an heir. I'm bringing her home tonight to live the life you've outgrown." I stood there, silent. 10 years. I had spent a decade building this man. When we met, he was a low-level analyst with nothing but debt and a cheap suit. I was the one who used my family's connections and my strategic mind to turn him into the CEO of a multi-million-dollar logistics firm. But once a man reaches the summit, he often forgets who carried the oxygen tanks. I picked up the pen. No tears. No screaming. I looked him dead in the eye. "Are you sure about this, Hudson? Once I walk out that gate, there is no turning back." Hudson let out a dry, arrogant laugh and pulled Amber, a 20-something Instagram model, closer to his side. "Just go. And don't even dream about the house or the $10 million in our shared accounts. I've already moved every cent into my mother's offshore trust in the Caymans. You're leaving with nothing but the clothes on your back. Get lost." I signed. The ink felt like a death warrant for our past and a birth certificate for my future. I pulled my suitcases through the rain, spine straight, leaving behind the echoes of their mocking laughter. 1 month later, the wedding of the year. Hudson and Amber's wedding was a disgusting spectacle of vanity at a 5-star hotel. Imported peonies, a $30,000 cake, and a guest list featuring the city's power players. Hudson looked radiant in his bespoke tuxedo, while Amber flaunted her tiny baby bump in a Vera Wang gown, her eyes gleaming with predatory triumph. As the reception reached its peak, the MC announced, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a surprise gift from an anonymous old friend of the groom. The sender requested it be opened publicly to celebrate this unique union." Hudson smirked, thinking it was a luxury watch or the keys to a new yacht. He nodded for the staff to proceed. A large velvet box was brought onto the stage. Inside wasn't gold or diamonds. It was a thick legal dossier and a USB drive. Curiosity turned into arrogance. Hudson signaled the tech team to plug the USB into the giant LED screen, expecting a tribute video. The hall went silent. The screen flickered to life. But it wasn't a montage of memories. It was a series of high-definition photos of Amber in a very intimate position with another man at a boutique hotel in South Beach. The timestamps were from just 2 weeks ago, while she was supposedly carrying Hudson's legacy. The room erupted into whispers. Amber shrieked, trying to block the screen, but the damage was done. But the real death blow was in the dossier Hudson was holding. His hand shook as he flipped the pages. The company Hudson ran? It had always been controlled by a mysterious majority shareholder holding 60% of the stock, a person he only knew through encrypted emails as LA Capital. The dossier contained an immediate termination notice for Hudson for embezzlement and fraud. It also included a federal court order freezing all assets linked to his mother's accounts for investigation into money laundering of the $10 million he thought he'd hidden. On the final page, the signature of the board chairperson was revealed, Alana Anderson. Me. The worthless wife he thought was just a stay-at-home ornament. I was the silent investor, the ghost strategist, and the legal shield that had kept his company afloat for years. The moment I pulled my support, his empire turned back into a house of cards. The ballroom was chaos. Amber was being mocked as a gold-digging fraud. Hudson dropped his crystal Glass, the sound of it shattering echoing the ruins of his life. He realized he hadn't just lost a wife, he had lost his career, his reputation, and his freedom. He sprinted out of the hall, ignoring Amber's screams. He drove like a madman to the small, dingy apartment we had rented when we first got married, the place he assumed I'd be hiding in. I wasn't there. After dozens of ignored calls, I finally picked up. "Alana. Where are you? I made a mistake. That woman lied to me. Please," I called off the wedding. "Come home, baby. We can start over. I only love you." Hudson sobbed into the phone, his voice cracking with pure terror. On my end, the only sound was the gentle breeze of the Mediterranean and the clinking of a wine glass. "Hudson," I said calmly. "You were right about one thing. I am older. I'm old enough to know when to take out the trash. Did you really think I'd be waiting for you? That house, those cars, that $10 million, it was all my family's seed money that I managed. I gave you a crown, and you used it to spit on me. Alana, please. I'll do anything. I want you to stay away from me. That wedding gift? Consider it my final alimony payment to you. My lawyers and the FBI will be in touch regarding that $10 million you borrowed from the company. Good luck in federal prison, Hudson." Click. Hudson dropped his phone onto the cold pavement. The rain started to pour again. He remembered the nights I stayed up late proofreading his contracts, the way I made sure his suits were pressed for every board meeting, and the look of cold dignity in my eyes when I signed those divorce papers. At that moment, the old saying finally hit him, "You never know what you have until it's gone." But it was Kwam Yuan. The woman who once made him her world was Geo de Tro Ton Nu Hong Kwa Chin Kuok Doi Min, O Mot Noi Mahan Vin Vien Kong the Cham Toi Duok Nua. Hudson slumped against his steering wheel, his cries drowned out by the city sirens, bankrupt, humiliated, and utterly alone. The moral of the story: don't ever mistake a woman's grace for weakness. Nail polish. Hudson forgot that behind every successful man is a woman who can either build his empire or burn it to the ground. He chose to play a game he couldn't win, and he paid for it with his freedom. Remember, if you're going to be a Casanova, make sure you're not doing it on someone else's dime. Money with wings. I didn't lose a husband. I just cut a bad investment and maximized my returns. Now, I'm sipping wine on the Mediterranean while he's counting days in a cell. Ladies, never settle for being an ornament. Build your own table so you can take your seat whenever you want. Clinking glasses fire. Comet. Ladies, what would you have done if you were in my shoes?